Hello everybody, I am Hippie Banger and welcome to my channel. Because it is spring is coming finally, I've decided to kind of go through a few of my things and pick out things to declutter, things that I don't really need anymore, have no real use for, and to get rid of and give away. And so I figured that this would be a very interesting video to share with you guys. Just because, you know, why not? So that's what we're doing today. I got this back when I was working at a store, and I never really used it. I always thought that I would be the kind of person who would want to make breaded chicken, but I don't have the time or the energy to really put that kind of effort in, and so I decided that I'm not going to keep this, and I think I'll just give this to my mom instead, because that's kind of the thing that she does a lot. I just don't have the energy to do that kind of thing, so I'm going to give that to her instead. I actually went through a lot of my art supplies recently. I do a lot of art stuff, obviously, and so I figured, I should go through it, figure out kind of which things I want to keep, which things I want to get rid of. And I found a lot of stuff that I actually don't need anymore. Just like some binders, some books. I have this one binder here that I carried with me through high school, and I had filled it up with like papers, sheet protectors. I think there's some paper in here as well. It has this piece that you can put your pencils in. I don't need it. I have a binder already, and I already gave away another binder too, because I had 3 at one point. I only really need 1. And same with notebooks. I don't even use notebooks anymore. So I'm going to be giving away this probably just to the donation center. It's a really nice hardcover notebook. Really good for just if you're taking notes. There's a lot of people in this area who have kids who go to school, and so I figured that they can probably use that a lot better than I could. As well, I have all of these just extra paintbrushes, and going through my paintbrushes was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, surprisingly, just because I have so many and I could think of a use for every single one of them. And even though I have like 3 of the same kind and they all mismatch, and at one point that was something that I kind of cared about, but thinking back on it now, no, I don't really care if they all match. So these I'm just going to give away, because I don't even really paint a whole lot, and I think a lot of these are watercolor brushes, which I don't do. Whenever I do paint, I like to do acrylic, and so I have no need for watercolor brushes or watercolor paints. I don't think I even own watercolor paints, because I don't like watercolor. I also have this electrical tape that is obviously never left its package, and I don't think it ever will if it stays here, so that's gonna go. I used to knit sometimes. I still have knitting equipment here, but I only really do it in little splurges here and there, mostly around the winter time, and so I really have no need for these wools. I don't use them. They have been collecting dust for 10 years. And so I've decided I might keep the knitting equipment, and then whenever I want to knit, I will just go and buy some wool. I will do what I want to do, and then I will give the rest away, because I have no need for this, and this takes up a lot of space. I don't have a cat, so I can't give this to a cat either. Don't need it. We had this thing we found in our kitchen, and I have a roommate, and we found this in our kitchen, and I asked him about it because I thought it was his. He has no idea what it is. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's like a placemat for your coffee or something. We don't use this. This has been sitting rolled up in this package for a year. No idea what we would use it for, so that's gonna go. Don't need this at all. And I got this one from my dad. I asked if I could have it because I'm working on painting my board, and because it is a stain, I thought it would be a really good finisher. And now I am thinking that, you know what, colorless stain is probably not the best for going over acrylic paint, and I think I'm going to buy some varnish instead when I'm finished it. And in the meantime, I'm going to be getting rid of this because I don't use it, and obviously my family doesn't use it either because it has been sitting in their basement for who knows how many years now. So I'm going to give this away to somebody who maybe wants to paint their deck this year or build a deck this year. And I went through my kitchen and picked out some hand towels because we have a lot. When I first moved, I think I bought 2 or 3 sets of hand towels and like washcloths for the kitchen. Obviously, don't need that many. I think we use 3 of them. These towels are so nice and clean that I never even want to use them for anything, so they just sit in the drawer. So I'm gonna be giving these away because we don't need them. We have too many, and we don't use these because they look nice. And so there's no point in keeping them if they're just for show in the drawer where no one will see them. I got this bag for Christmas a couple years ago. It's a really nice messenger bag. There's one thing that I find very annoying is that there is a foam divider in this piece that gets bunched up, and it drives me crazy. And of course, I have a backpack. I use my backpack all the time. That's the only bag I use. And so I really have no need for this messenger bag anymore. So I'm going to donate this as well to somebody who maybe would like a nice, I think this is canvas messenger bag with a bunched up divider that they don't care about as much as I do. I actually picked out some clothes as well. I got rid of a lot of the clothes that I don't need already, but I think this shirt got missed, and that is this one, and it just doesn't really fit very well. It's not a great fit for me. It has more of like a female fit, which does not look or feel very good on my body. So I'm gonna be getting rid of that, and I think there's a couple other shirts that I have as well that has a similar fit that I'm also going to be parting with for the same reasons. And a lot of my clothes I actually need to replace because I have severely shrunk out of all of them. I have one pair of pants that fit properly, and it has a hole in it now, so that's awesome. So not one single pair of pants that I own is perfect. And one piece of clothing that I have that is very important is a binder, which I shrunk out of 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm now waiting on a new one finally. And who knows, by the time it gets here I might have shrunken out of the new one too, so you never know. I have collected a few canvases over the years. Now these, I wanted to use these to paint on, but obviously I don't think I'm going to get to it. It's just I don't paint very often, and when I do, I don't like to paint on giant canvases like this. So that's gonna go, and whoever decides they want that can paint over the horrible painting that I made in high school. I don't even want to see it, so that's just gonna go over there. I bought this stuffed dog a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, before I moved, and you know, it's cute. It's cute, but it takes up so much space. It's so big, and I just I don't like sleep with stuffed animals. I have pillows for that and another blanket, so I have no real reason to keep this little guy sitting around. And I have a little spider as well that I will probably get rid of just because I don't need it sitting around. It's just taking up space, and yeah. I also found this pair of binoculars that I have had sitting around for quite a while. I don't know how to use binoculars, really, other than put one side to your face. That's basically it. I got these because I thought, oh, well, I can go bird watching, or I can go outside and look at the stars. But, you know, living in the city, we don't really see the stars very much. There's too much light pollution here in the city to really properly stargaze. And so it just makes it kind of pointless to keep these around, considering the only thing that I would want to do with them, I have to leave the city to do, and I don't have any means for transportation at the moment to go outside of city limits without paying a ridiculous fee for a bus. So that is basically everything that I'm getting rid of this spring season. If you are planning a spring decluttering session, or you have already started decluttering for spring, please let me know in the comments what kind of things you have decided to part with, and perhaps even some things that you have decided to bring into your home in the new year. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. That really helps my channel grow, and I look forward to speaking to you guys again next week.